Hey guys, how's it going? This is Dragox55 here, and today we're showing off my Yugioh Aliens deck recipe. Not too much to explain. It's probably gonna be a shorter deck recipe, but you know, I figured why not show it off since I did make it. Granted, I'm not gonna go over most of the alien-based cards because, well, I already been over aliens. I mean, if you need more description, you can go to the alien deck recipe, but I will give you a short description of them. So, yeah. And in the video that I showed before this, I kinda messed up during the last person, but oh well. I could have done a lot better, but whatever. So, anyways, let's actually get started. First off, we have 3 alien Omnite, whatever it's called. I don't know really how to pronounce it. Obviously, in Yugioh Aliens, you're gonna have to run this because it's the main staple card of the deck, which, not main staple card, which, the staple card would be Golgar. But, it's the main staple tuner. You bring back a level 4 or lower alien, and you basically go for Golgar, but other times you can go for the other synchros, so... Yep. 2 alien dog, not really much. You really don't bring it out by itself. You would summon their alien, and when you normal summon their alien, you special summon this card from your hand to place 2 counters. Things I like to do is to summon this card, bring out like a level 4 from the grave, and then I can bring out alien dog and then spread tons of counters. Very fun, very good. I recommend 2 of them. You can't really run aliens without alien dog. Well, you can, but it's a lot better if you have this in there. And it's a light, so... I mean, most of the aliens here are light monsters, except for 2 of them here. 2 alien kid. I went for more of a chaos build when building this deck, so that's why we have alien kid instead of like, I don't know, telepath or something like that. So anyways, 2 alien kids. And anytime your opponent special summons, you place a counter on their monster. 1 counter per monster that is special summoned. Things to keep in mind: any monster that battles an alien monster, while it has an A counter, loses 300 attack while battling aliens. All of these aliens, I believe, except for Alien Dog and Alien Omnite, have that effect. And basically, if your opponent has 2 counters, and they have like Dark Magician, and they battle Alien Overlord, they will lose 600 attack and defense. If like, I hope you understand a little bit more. Anyways, we are only playing 1 Alien Overlord because of the fact that 1, he's the only one that can be on the field. 2, we have so many big monsters, like level 8, level 7, 2 level 10s. Actually, it's... yeah, 2 level 10s, 1 level 11, you know. I want to actually have cards I can play, so 1 Alien Overlord is fine. Granted, you can be special summoned by removing 2 A counters on the field. And his main thing is he can put 1 A counter on each of my opponent's face-up monster. So, yep. And remember, you can only have 1 Alien Overlord. So yeah, you can play 2, technically. I mean, you can take out a Yugioh for an Alien Overlord. But I'm trying to make this more Yugioh and aliens combined. It's a weird deck, but it works, nonetheless. 3 Alien Warrior, definitely probably one of my favorite out of the aliens. I know people play Rabbit and play Shock Trooper and yada yada. But really, I think all you need is Alien. I mean, granted, some other level 4s are good too, but Alien is probably my favorite because when it gets destroyed by battle, you can put 2 counters on cards, or 2 counters on the monster that destroyed this monster by battle. It's an 1800 beater. People are like, well, why don't you run Shock Trooper? Well, Shock Trooper is a normal monster, so I really don't care for it too much. And Telepath, really, like, I don't really feel the need for 1600 attack, and granted MST is at 3 instead. I believe it was at 1 in 5Ds, so playing stuff like Heavy Storm and Giant Trunade was actually better than just having 1 MST. So, you know, that is a thing. 2 Armageddon Knights. You normal summon, or when this card is summoned, you can send a Dark to the grave. Obviously, you're going to send Yugioh. You could put Plague Spreader in here, but it's whatever. Also, you can use him for a rank 4 after you do your shenanigans. If you really felt the need, you could put Summoner Monk instead of this guy, or even Dark Greffer, but Armageddon I prefer over Greffer. Because, I don't know, I just prefer it over Greffer. 1 Blackluster Soldier Envoy Envoy at the beginning. Really shouldn't have to go over this because, like, I'm pretty sure someone's ran into this card every single time. Like, if you ever played against anyone playing a light kind of deck and then they just have random dark cards too. But basics of this is you banish the light and dark from the grave to special summon him. He's a 3000 attack point monster. He only gets one effect per turn. And only your turn. The person who controls it. You target an opponent's monster. And of course you banish it face up. So, whatever. Anyways. You can't attack if you banish, and if you destroy an opponent's monster by battle, you can activate this effect and attack again. Really OP. If you want to change it for Sorcerer, Chaos Sorcerer, then be my guest. I mean, you can take out Dark Arm, then put Sorcerer, and you have 2 Chaos Space things. But whatever. Next we have Dark Armed. Basically, if you have 3 darks in the grave, you can summon him, banish 1 dark, and destroy 1 card on the field. Triple Tomato, he's a good searcher. He lets you get 3 darks in the grave really quickly. Because you can go Tomato for Tomato, Tomato gets destroyed, and then you summon Armageddon, Armageddon dumps a Yugioh, then you can get Dark Armed. Then, assuming you have a light monster, considering that the whole 7 cards here are light based, including Golgars. It shouldn't be too hard to get both of these out, so. But if anyone doesn't know, when this card is destroyed by battle, you can special summon a dark monster with 1500 or less attack in face up attack position. You could go for Yugioh, but personally I like to go for Armageddon, dump Yugioh, and then get Limit Reverse to get Yugioh back. So, simple enough. Granted, another thing is, if you go into Black Rose, since Tomato is in fact a plant-based monster, most people don't think about this, but since Tomato is a plant-based monster, you can use Black Rose Dragon's effect to banish a plant type from your grave, and then target a defense position monster your opponent controls, change it to attack, and reduce its attack to 0 until the end phase. Granted, you do have Photon Pally, whatever you want to call it, but Black Rose is an option if you cannot get this card out. Just thought I'd point that out. 2 Yugiohs, you can't really have Yugioh aliens without Yugioh, so not too much to say about Yugioh, to be honest. It can't be destroyed by battle. You take no battle damage from battles involving it. You do still get this effect if it gets destroyed under the effects of Phoenix Chain. Like, for example, if it's stuck under Phoenix Chain, and then someone destroys it by attacking into it. Of course, they don't get damage, but it still counts as this card being destroyed, and you get an effect because it's a graveyard effect. If you watch the video, you'll see what I'm talking about. Other things, if your opponent does attack this, they take damage equal to their own monster's attack points. So you take, it's basically Spirit Barrier with Magic Cylinder, so, which is really good. No one likes running into Yugioh. Granted, Yugioh does have the problem if its other forms get taken care of by removing them. Someone has pointed out, if you remove these 2, then it becomes a problem for this, and Yugioh is basically useless. Other than the fact that it's basically a stall card. But granted, you're not going to worry about that too much. The only things you do have to worry about are Evil Swarm, and anything that prevents special summoning of anything level 5 or higher. So yeah. Uh, Granted, another thing is that, like, you don't even have to worry about Dragox55 if you're curious. People will probably make Big Eye to take control of this or something, but then they don't realize that the other part of this is if this card is not dealt with at the end phase, you tribute a monster, and then this card won't be destroyed. Usually it'll tribute Yugioh and yada yada yada. So be careful Big Eye, because Big Eye will help get rid of this card too if your opponent wants to do it. Not too much to say, and as I said, you have to tribute one monster on your side of the field, otherwise this card gets destroyed, and if it's destroyed by an effect that's not its own effect, you can bring a Yugioh Terrier Incarnate from the hand deck or graveyard onto the field. Next is Terra Incarnate. Basically, same rules apply, except the other thing is he doesn't tribute anything at the end phase. He destroys all monsters on the field at your end phase. So other things that work with this are, in fact, not with this deck, but with this card. Is in fact Phoenix Defiantes, which when Phoenix Defiantes is destroyed, you can destroy all like back row stuff, and this card keeps destroying monsters, so basically they can't hit the Phoenix, whatever. But that doesn't matter because it's not that deck, it's basically just Yugioh Alien, so basically we have him in there to stop your opponent from attacking, destroys all monsters at end phase. Even Ab-Zero can't deal with this card. I mean, like, what's he gonna do, blow up this card? Because if it does, and which brings us into the next Yugioh form, the last and not least form, when this card is destroyed by a card effect that isn't its own card effect, which it can't do that technically, but if it's destroyed by a card effect, you could bring out Yugioh the Ultimate Nightmare. Now we only play one of these because, granted, you get it from hand, deck, or grave, so you don't really need to worry about it, but if you want to play two of them, go ahead. But in this deck I wouldn't recommend it because it doesn't fit in too much. So yeah, we have Yugioh Terra Ultimate Nightmare, not Terra Incarnate. Same things apply, except this time it doesn't have an end phase thing, and if this card attacks an opponent's monster, your opponent takes damage equal to that monster's attack. So if this card attacks Blue Eyes, it destroys your opponent's monster and gives them 3000 damage. You take no battle damage, of course. It is very annoying for your opponent, which is what you're hoping for. It cannot be destroyed with battle, so they can't just, like, you know, anything that battles this card, anything that battles this card gets destroyed, so this card could take down, like, Obelisk, I think. I don't know. I haven't actually hit Obelisk with Ultimate Nightmare, but I believe it might work, because it doesn't target, but who knows. That's what you guys figure out. One thing to keep in mind is you want to try to protect this card a little more. So cards like Safe Zone or stuff like that does help out this card a lot, because then it can take out stuff very easy. And granted, you're not going to be attacking your opponent directly with this because it's 0 attack, so you know, like, it's common sense. Like, you're not going to attack your opponent with a Thousand Eyes Idol, no, Arcana Force, the Force of Zero or something. I'm trying to think of something that would have 0 attack that you guys would know of. I don't know. You wouldn't be attacking your opponent with 0 attack points directly. I mean, you could, but it wouldn't do anything. So yeah, putting safe zone on this card doesn't actually hurt it. So things to keep in mind if you want to change up the deck. 2 Code Ancient Ruins. When an alien type monster is destroyed on your field, you put a counter on this. Once per turn, you can move 2 8 counters and special summon an alien monster from the grave. Pretty much anything out of this, doesn't matter what level. Cosmic Fortress is not affected by this card, so you cannot bring Cosmic Fortress back. Golgar, if you're curious. If you do bounce this back, you can activate the effect again. Just so you know. 1 Dark Hole to get rid of monsters on the field, whatever. Forbidden Lance. I run it because I think I just put in random cards at this point, but basically you protect yourself or lower your opponent's monster. I got over this card a lot. Basically, monster loses 800 attack but is unaffected by spells and traps other than this card. So you can protect a lot of things with this card, or you can screw over your opponent's monster and attack over it. So 2 Mystical Space Typhoon, destroys back row, nothing more to say. 1 day apiece, you both draw a card, activate it after you attack so that you at least get damage in. Upon duality, you reveal top 3 and you add 1 to your hand, cannot special summon turn you activate this. Make sure you remember that because this card, and this card, this card, and well, you're not gonna normal summon this, so this card too, and these cards, yada yada. So yeah, they all special summon stuff, so keep that in mind. 2 Gravity Bind, I like it. It stalls out longer than you need. Castellars don't, anything that XYZs don't mind it, but it is something that can last you a while. If you want to, you can change it for Messenger piece, but I'd rather go more trap heavy, a little more traps than spells here, so something to keep in mind. But if you want something that protects against XYZs, I would go Messenger piece. So, but this is something annoying for your opponents if they decide to go Dragon Rulers and then return from a different dimension, attack you with all those, and then you go, nope, Gravity Bind, and then your opponent's like, darn it. 2 Limit Reverse, basically you bring back Yugioh, and yeah, you bring back anything 1,000 or less attack points, and when this card is, when the monsters change to defense, you destroy this card, and when this card leaves the field, destroy that card, of course. So basically you get Yugioh, change to defense, you activate it during your opponent's end phase, of course, change Yugioh to defense, get Terra Incarnate, then Ultimate Nightmare. Simple enough, I guess. Also, you can bounce it back with Golgar too, so keep that in mind if you want counters and you have Alien or Yugioh. So yeah. Needle Sealing, I have it in here, it's pretty good. Better than Mirror Force in a lot of ways, because you can control when you activate this, so when 4 or more monsters on the field, you activate it and destroy them. Basically, you have Yugioh, your opponent has like 3 monsters because they're sitting there for Yugioh to go away. So then you Needle Sealing, get Terra Incarnate, and do some damage, or even Terra Incarnate, do this, so whatever. You can change it for Mirror Force, change these 2 if you want. I personally like these 2 better than Mirror Force in this deck, but it's there. This one allows you to Offering to Sync Deity 1. As I said, you can change it out for Deep Prisons or Mirror Force, yada yada. But basically, you target 1 reptile you control. It has to be face up. So I usually do the level 4s because I can bring them back with Alien Omnite later on. So even I use Alien Dog sometimes. And you can target 2 of your opponent's cards, not monsters, and destroy all 3 targets. And yes, it does add to the counters of Code 8 Ancient Ruins. 2 Phoenix Wind Blast. You discard 1 card and you target 1 of your opponent's cards and bounce it back to the top of the deck. I usually use this for an anti-XYZ card, anti-Synchro, anti-whatever. Of course you want to send Yugioh, that would be your first goal. But if you don't have Yugioh, then sending whatever else is fine. Because level 4s are fine to send too, because you could get them back with Alien Omnite as long as it's alien based. Next is the Synchros and XYZs. We have 1 Catastor. I personally might change this for Armoralis or whatever his name is, the one that acts like a Gear Down monster. Basically, since you have a very heavy light based deck, this card gets rid of anything that's like dark based or gets rid of anything that you can't really get rid of, Castellars, yada yada yada. Black Rose, because Black Rose is not really too much to say. 3 gold guard. I can go over it a little bit. Advances back. You can activate with each effect one time only during per turn. Once per turn, of course. And then you select any number of face-up spells or traps. Return them to the hand, but they have to be face-up, of course. Distribute 8 counters among the monsters, whatever you want. So 2 face-up spells equal to 8 counters, and once per turn you can remove 2 8 counters and destroy 1 card your opponent controls. Simple enough. It's a light monster and has 100 more attack than Stardust. So, good thing to know. One Miststorm is there. It's really good if you need to get rid of stuff that's being annoying. If you're curious how to do that, you do Alien Omnite. Actually, it was a lot easier when I had Alien Green here. But I'm pretty sure you can go into it easy. Like Alien Omnite with Alien Kid and Armageddon or Mystic Tomato, yada yada. 2 level 4s and 1 level 1, whatever. Scrap Dragon, you can make it easy. Stardust. If you want Crimson later, go on ahead. I wanted Scrap Dragon because I prefer it over Crimson. Whatever, I guess. I mean, I don't really play the multiplayer too much anymore. But, you know, I play a few guys when you guys want to. And Stardust because it protects stuff. 1 Daigusto Emerald. Basically recycles Graveyard. 1 Gaga Cowboy. Not too much to say about that. King of the Feral Imps lets you get reptiles. As I said before, go for the tuner most of the time because usually you'll have a level 4 in the grave. Otherwise, still go for the tuner, then go for the level 4 so that you can go for some shenanigans. Vocosaurus, I have it there because I have Wind Up and Vocosaurus because I run like 4 level 5s. You can take them out, like, they don't do anything too much. I keep Vocosaurus just in case, but this one I get rid of, maybe. Photon Pally, basically you flip over a monster, lose 600 attack. Or, it changes a defense to attack, and, you know, whatever. 2 Evil Dragon Nadas for the extra deck, and 2 Alien Greys, just in case if you need them. I really don't, but you can. I mean, that's their effect. I don't need to go over it too much. If you find a need for it. Sorry, that wasn't long enough. 3, 2, 1. Alright. Anyways, that is pretty much the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. As for the deck, it is not really a competitive deck. I guess you can guess by the whole Yugioh engine. Personally, you could take it all out and this deck would be a little more better. But, you know, it's still a fun deck. It's something that someone wanted me to try and see if well, technically they said they want Yugioh and Aliens, not like together, but, you know. But I thought it'd be kind of cool to mix it up, kind of see what we got here, see if it actually works. I think it does. Because you can install your opponent, you can do Yugioh, you can do Blackluster, you can Golgar, you can do a lot of shenanigans, yada yada. Just watch the duels and you'll see what I mean. This deck, definitely for a fun-based thing, is definitely 8 out of 10. Don't know why I keep giving ratings to everything, because it's not like I'm some professional critic or someone that would review person or something. Don't know what that's called. I guess it's a critic, but whatever. Or maybe it's not even a critic. Whatever. I don't even care. Things you should worry about. Like Imprisoning Mirror can shut this deck down pretty quickly. Not the Yugioh part, of course, but the light-based stuff. Phoenix Chains are annoying if you get hit with it by Alien Omnite. Same thing for effect failures on Alien Omnite. Basically, if Alien Omnite is getting negated, you're not gonna have a good time. Granted, you don't need to rely on aliens with this deck, because you could just basically beat down your opponent with Yugioh, but, you know, it's whatever. As I said, this is a fun-based deck. I recommend you try it. You might get a few wins, you might not. I actually have got like 3 wins with this deck out of like, let's see, 3 duels. No, like out of 5 duels actually. Like 5 duels, I got like 3 wins. So you can imagine that this deck can be pretty good. If I mean, granted, they weren't like the best decks that I was dueling, but still, wins count as wins. So I recommend you use it. Try it out. Whatever. You guys can do what you need to. I explain the deck as good as I can. You guys can figure out the rest of the combos if you need to. There's other stuff you can put in here, but I don't need to go over them. And I will catch you guys later. Thank you for stopping by, and I will catch you guys later.